How you doing? Well, welcome to the old farmhouse. You've been here many times, my home. And right now it's time, the witching hour, when everything starts moving around, the rabbits. Oh, sounds like the neighbour's spraying. Yeah, Cherry's over next door there. Hey Bruno, how you going, boy? Hey, g'day mate. Hey, good dog. Now my dogs, well, half of them been hunted today. Pace and B. Calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down. So you wouldn't think they've been hunted. Pace and B have done quite a bit of hunting. Shannon took them away with young Spencer, who I took out this morning. That'll do, Bruno, that'll do. At 4 AM. Anyway, we'll let these guys out and take them for a walk. You can see that B's been through the bush because he's got that stuff in his eyes. Where you go, mate? Run over the camera. Got all that goop. They get a lot of sticks and stuff in there. How's your eyes, Pace? You're looking pretty good, aren't you? Hanging out there with your mate. Hey, all good? This will go on for a while. Mother and son. She'll eventually beat him up and tell him who's the boss. Anyway, I got off the phone to a bloke just now. Been talking for probably a good hour and a half, actually. I won't say his name, but you know who you are, mate. And I hope the conversation's making you feel a whole lot better than you were when we started. I'm sure it is. It's from Tiana, where I used to live years ago. And good to catch up with someone who I knew from years ago. I went to school down there when I was a kid, but he was in a bad place when I talked to him. He was miserable. So I said to him, listen buddy, come on. I said, you've got to start practicing gratitude. Yeah, he started off by saying, oh mate, you know, you're living the dream, you've got your bit of land now, and I'm still, you know, struggling with this and that. And I said, listen, first of all, number one rule is you never measure yourself against somebody else. You don't do that. You know, you can get very caught up in like people in their Facebook world or their Instagram world. Everything's looking great, you know, they're always out there catching fish or hanging a venison up on the tree, or they caught a pig and everything looks good and their girlfriend's beautiful and everything's fantastic, and they paint this picture and it's all bullshit. You know, it's just highlights. If you want to know about, you know, real life, well, watch my channel because it's a daily thing. Well, it is if you're on Patreon. You'll see every day and you'll see the horrible shit that happens, because that's what life's like. But you don't measure yourself against somebody else. You measure yourself against the bloke you were yesterday. So there, I said that was the first thing I said to him. I said, right, that's the first thing you do. And then the second thing I said to him is, you've got to start practicing gratitude. He goes, well, what have I got to be grateful about? Look at it. And I said, mate, you're a Kiwi, you live in New Zealand. He goes, so? I said, mate, do you know what that means? He goes, yeah, we're a couple of islands. I said, well, no, we're 3 islands, don't forget Stewart Island. Actually, we're lots of little islands. He goes, yeah, we're like, so, what's cool about New Zealand? I said, have you been out of New Zealand? He goes, no. And I said, well, there's this thing, you see, because I've travelled overseas, heaps. And if you want to find out how cool New Zealand is, you go for a holiday in India. Go and stay in Bombay for a while. Or go and stay in Thailand, not the tourist part, but the part where all the people that are in poverty live. Go stay in Greece, or go to Somalia, you know. So he said, oh, I don't know. And I said, well, you don't know because you haven't been out. Get on, Pace. 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 Get him behind. Cars go down there. I said, you've got to start practicing gratitude. A New Zealand passport today is the most valuable passport you can have. I read that today. We are a very, very fortunate country. We have the most freedom. The most freedom. Google it. I think last year it was Hong Kong and New Zealand and Switzerland, I think. But this year, 2020, we've got the most freedom. That's just scratching the surface. Look at this place, man, if you're feeling like shit. And there's so much to be grateful about. We've got the best mountain bike tracks in the world right here in Nelson. I'll pan around, you can't see because the clouds over the mountain there. Mount Arthur, great tramping, great walking. When Al was staying with me, she was like up there and she come back so elated and so high just on the mountain air. We've got Motueka River just half an hour from where I am, some of the best trout fishing in the world. Just down the beach here. You know, you got this beach here, you can take a kayak out. You don't need a lot of money, just need some imagination. I've been using my dad's plastic kayak for like, I don't know, forever, catching fish. Get him behind. Pace come. Bagsy come. Heel up. Come on. Heel up. Good dogs. Can't believe they want to run around. There's so much. You know, other countries, I stayed in Germany, I wanted to go for a hunt. The rigmarole I had to go through to try and shoot a deer, and finally when I organised everything. I thought, this is not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm in a bloody stand. They've got a feeder going off, and you've got to pay all this money, and a deer comes out to have its tucker, and you shoot it. They call that hunting? Fuck me dead. That's not hunting. That's like being on a farm and shooting somebody's livestock. These sheep here. Unreal. I'm Bruno. So, what about the Department of Conservation gives you a free permit to go and hunt? Doesn't cost you anything. You try doing that in most other countries. You know, we've got so much land to hunt. You can go and get your food from the rivers, the sea, the mountains, just about anywhere. So, you know, I was talking to this bloke, so mate, you've got to start practicing gratitude. Be grateful the fact you're a bloody Kiwi. Have you forgotten something, you know? Majority of people do not live like we live. We live in paradise. I understand that, yes, we don't have the same amount of money as other countries. Like, you know, you can make more money probably working in Australia. Certainly, I could make a lot more money working in Europe, like working in Germany like I used to work. I used to make a shitload of money there years ago. And that was a great time, but of course, you'd sacrifice the lifestyle. Here, the lifestyle's awesome. And in the end of the day, what is money? It's only to buy something of value. You've got so much value here in New Zealand. You're rich already. You know, you don't even need much money. I've been renting an old farmhouse that virtually has been unlivable for the last 15 years, and it's been some of the best years of my life. I've eaten every day. You know, I've lived well, and you know, practice being grateful for that. I am so grateful. Every morning I wake up and I go, it's almost like I pinch myself. Is this real? What did I do to deserve this birthright? I'm very grateful, and I feel like when I see other people overseas, I feel sorry, and I almost feel a lot guilty for having this lifestyle. I think, geez, man, you know, I wish I could just swap places sometimes for some people, because a lot of people live really in poverty and absolutely just struggle on a day-to-day basis just to exist. So anyway, by the end of the conversation, I think he had a gut full of listening to how grateful I was, and he went away. Well, he said he went away. He said, I'm going away with a whole new perspective there, Clay. He said, I haven't really even ever given these things a thought, to be honest with you. And I think my enthusiasm and my honesty about, you know, how horrible I have, you know, the times of my life I have felt when I've gone through, you know, the most hideous pain and the most terrible things. That's the other thing. If you're not in pain, like real bad pain, then you've got a lot to be grateful for. There's a lot of people on a day-to-day basis, 24/7, living in intense pain, you know. And I know all about pain. I've been down there, been down that road, and it might be physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain. Doesn't really matter. Pain is pain. At the end of the day, it's a fucking pain. So if you don't have pain in your life, well, you know, that's something else to be grateful for. I listed all these things to him. I said that, you know, the things you could be grateful for. He's got 2 children that are both healthy. You know, okay, one of them's has just lost his job because of COVID-19. Well, the same thing in my son, but that's nothing. You know, you'll find something else will present itself. When one door closes, another one opens. And yeah, he doesn't own his own place, but, you know, I've been renting for a long time, and that doesn't make you happy anyway. I would say some of the happiest years of my life was when I was real young. Living under the Motueka Bridge was a great time of my life. I was only there for 3-4 months, but really, honestly, had an amazing time. You know, I used to go and catch trout. I used to poach trout, used to tickle them. My dad taught me how to do that. It's amazing the things you can learn from a ranger, isn't it? Sorry for saying that, Dad, but hey, that's true. And I used to catch eels. I used to do all sorts of things to get food. Not all completely legal, but nobody really got hurt. And looking back, that was a great time. It was an awesome time. I did some naughty things. I used to pick tobacco, because back then tobacco was grown in the paddocks, and I used to, oh, look what he's just picked up. He's picked up a rabbit that I didn't shoot. Actually, it might be a hare. Some guys will say, hey, tell that dog off for scavenging. But I can tell him to drop it in a heartbeat. Bixie, come. Good boy. Good boy. Bixie, come. Good boy. Come to me and went away again. Bixie, come. Good boy. Yeah, you can have that, mate. He's wagging his tail. He will drop it when I say so. I think the hawk's probably killed that, because I didn't kill it. Nothing gets shot around here without being made use of. These guys must be tired. They've had a big hunt. Yeah, great time when I was down there, but also many other times. I was very young. I was 15 when I left home, and I had hard times too. I had times that, you know, struggle, and like everybody else, I had my blue days and my bad days, but if you just wake in the morning and just practice gratitude, I guarantee you, for your mental well-being and your health's sake, you've got to become mentally strong to get through this life. And I'll tell you why. This is a horrible part of this video. This is not the fun part, the part you've got to hear. You've got to practice not being jealous of other people, and actually not being resentful of other people if they're doing well. You've got to practice being grateful that they're succeeding. If you see someone doing well, and New Zealanders are shocking for this, the old tall poppy syndrome. I read an art thing the other day. Someone wrote on Reddit. I had this video go viral. It was, you know, about creating a network. And one guy wrote, "Oh, old claytallstories used to have some pretty good videos, but he's a bit of a blow ass." And I thought, that sums it up really, doesn't it? You know, I'm a bit of a blow ass, yeah, because I'm talking my truth. But we just can't have anybody doing a little bit well, you know. Since the video went big and I was doing okay, suddenly I'm a fucking blow ass. And that's what we like. And that guy there, he puts me down and he lifts himself up a little bit. But that's not the right way to lift yourself up. In fact, you end up doing yourself a disfavour and disservice. You actually lift yourself up more by lifting people up around you. I've found this to be true. So you've got to get yourself really mentally fit and start practicing these really good habits, these good mental habits, because like I said before, and this is a bit I didn't want to talk about, one day something really shit's going to happen to you. Sooner or later, that's the nature of life. We're all the nature, we're going to get sick, and one day we're going to die. And quite often that bit before you die can be prolonged and difficult. Or somebody you love will get sick and die. It could be your grandmother, it could be your father, it could be your sibling. God forsake it if it's, you know, your child. It does happen. And then you've got to deal with the real pain of life, the real stuff. And if you haven't been practicing good habits with your mental thinking up to that point, you're going to struggle a lot more. You're going to suffer. Well, I'm just going to get these dogs in because they're all going different directions. Hold on there. We're going to have a big drink. There's some native ducks on the pond just behind me there. Little scalps. The dogs are looking around. I love being with the dogs after they've had a hunt because they've got all the yah-yahs out of their system, and that's what we all need to do. Go and do something physical. Anyway, back to what I was getting at, and the importance of establishing good thinking habits. I'll tell you another thing. It applies exactly the same to physical. When you're physically well and your body's able, that's the time to take care of it. Make it stronger. You know, do not have bad habits that go on and on that make you weak in the end, like not getting enough sleep, or drinking too much alcohol, or smoking, or too much sugar in your diet, or any sugar in your diet for that matter. But start practicing good things. That way when you do get sick, because we all get sick, none of us are 100% immune to not getting sick. That way when you do get sick, your fitness will see you through, and you'll get through that virus or infection or whatever it is, and you won't suffer as much. You'll suffer less, and you'll be strong for it. And exactly the same applies to the mental. If you practice these things every day, like practicing gratitude, appreciation, kindness to others, tolerance and patience, and try to understand things that are outside of your own thinking and be a bit open about it, you will find that when something really bad in your life happens, which does sooner or later happen to most of us, I don't know too many people have got through a life unscathed without something horrific happening at one point or another. Then when that thing happens and presents itself, you'll deal with it so much better. You'll have the tools. So start by that tomorrow. First thing when you wake up, wiggle your toes, go, oh, I've got toes. If you're watching this and you're someone in a wheelchair who can't wiggle your toes, then wiggle your fingers. If you're someone who's a quadriplegic, then blink your eyes. If you're someone who's like, whatever you've got left that you can still move it and be grateful. Because there's always a man worse off than you. Not that that diminishes the things that you don't have and makes them any better or worse, because we're not measuring ourselves against anybody else other than ourselves. And on that note, always try to be better than the bloke you were yesterday, or the woman for that matter. Not as many women watching my channel. I think it's about 7%, so to you 7% out there, you probably knew this anyway, because women are smart. Alright, I'm going to carry on with this walk, and I'll leave you with that, and I hope it helps you put your troubles in perspective. And to all you other people out there that really are suffering big stuff right now, whether it's you're looking at terminal illness, or you've lost someone you really love, or you're having to deal with physical pain or mental pain, any sort of pain. I've been there, know what it's like, and I'm happy today I got through, even when the odds were stacked. So always keep hope, because there is hope. Be good, can't be good, be careful. See you later. Okay guys, come on Bigsy, bring your rabbit. Come on mate, come on.